And the second is a memorandum of understanding, or an MOU, which has identified and clarified the areas of cooperation between Pakistan and the United Kingdom and put the whole thing in perspective, so to say. We've also decided that ministerial meetings should be held as far as possible on an annual basis, to be chaired by the respective Home or Interior Ministers. And the agenda is all-encompassing, ranging from security to counter-terrorism, narcotics, immigration, organized crime, sharing of information, sharing of intelligence information. So the whole gamut, if I am allowed to say, of relations, of cooperation relating to security matters. Pakistan consistently and historically has had a very good relation with the United Kingdom. I do not recall or see any serious problem which has in any way affected the relationship between the two countries. Yes, there are a few irritants, there are a few roadblocks, but we have agreed to address them within the limits of our authority, within the limitations imposed by our respective systems and our respective laws. So if I was to summarize it before handing over the floor to the Home Secretary, I am extremely satisfied with both the scope and the manner of our discussions. The agreements arrived at, and in particular, the understanding of each other's point of view, which was very visible and very obvious in these meetings. I would once again like to welcome the Home Secretary to Pakistan. This is her first visit to Pakistan. I hope, and as the Prime Minister also said, this is the first of many such visits in the future. And I hope the bedrock of cooperation, which has been historically built between the two countries, particularly relating to security, I think will be carried forward between our two respective ministries and our two respective governments. At this point, let me also identify and appreciate the role, the very proactive leadership of the former Home Secretary and the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. She has made many visits to Pakistan. She has many friends and well-wishers here. And I think as Home Secretary, she has done a lot to bring the two countries closer in just about every field of her responsibility. We hope that in a new position as Prime Minister, she will carry the torch forward. And as the Prime Minister said, and I'm repeating it publicly, we are looking forward to the Prime Minister's visit to Pakistan in the very near future. Thank you very much.
And good afternoon, and thank you, Your Excellency, for that kind welcome and for the very constructive discussions that we've had. As Home Secretary, my priorities are mostly at home in the United Kingdom, but in our interconnected world, I know that ensuring security and justice for the British people requires us to work closely with important partners overseas, and that means Pakistan. Our shared history, our global and regional challenges, and the 2% of the British population who trace their roots back to Pakistan means that the UK has uniquely close ties to Pakistan. That, of course, includes the issues of security, immigration and justice, for which I am responsible. But it also includes significant opportunities for our mutual prosperity, as Pakistan's economy continues to grow and the UK takes advantage of its new relationships outside the EU. So I was delighted to accept the Interior Minister's kind invitation to discuss how to enhance our partnership. I know that when she was Home Secretary, the Prime Minister greatly enjoyed and valued her working relationship with Minister Nisar, and I look forward to building on that close understanding between our two countries. I would also like to pay tribute to the hard work of the Minister, as well as Pakistan's police and its armed forces, in delivering significant improvements in security across Pakistan over the last 2 years. While we know that the challenges are still considerable, that hard work has brought increased security for the people of Pakistan and the UK, for British nationals in Pakistan and for British business wanting to trade with and invest in Pakistan. As the Interior Minister has said, we've just had very constructive discussions on a wide range of shared interests, and that is reflected in the Memorandum of Understanding that I was delighted to sign with the Minister. Following on from these discussions, I look forward to enhancing our relationship in several areas. First, in tackling the shared issues from terrorism, extremism and organised crime. Pakistan has suffered more than most from the scourge of terrorism. We already work closely together to tackle these threats, but we can do more, which is why I'm pleased that the Prime Minister's Special Envoy on counter-terrorism will be visiting shortly to expand our cooperation structured around Pakistan's own National Action Plan. I hope this will include further work on building safer cities, including here in Islamabad. Secondly, I want to see closer cooperation on extradition and mutual legal assistance to ensure there is no escape from justice in either country. Last year saw the first extradition to the UK from Pakistan in over 10 years of a man later convicted of a double murder and jailed for 31 years. And I look forward to that cooperation becoming the norm. Thirdly, on aviation and border security. When it opens later this year, Islamabad's new airport will play an important role in the safe and secure movement of people between our two countries. I'm pleased that we're supporting the airport's development with training and expertise and hope to see more international flights coming to Islamabad in the future. It puts an extra momentum and urgency in wanting to make sure that we reassure businesses here and that we work with both UK businesses exporting and Pakistan businesses exporting even more closely. The whole point about leaving the European Union is to make sure that we are absolutely a global Britain, opening for business, deepening those relationships with a country like Pakistan. So I hope that, in direct answer to your question, that businesses here will take some excitement and enthusiasm from the renewed vigour that we're approaching our relationship with Pakistan.
If I'm allowed to add, Madam Home Secretary, in spite of the fact that trade and commerce does not fall within our area of responsibility, it is an area which was discussed both in the meeting with the Prime Minister and the Home Secretary, and then in our own bilateral meeting. I think both sides are very conscious, very clear about the fact that trade is the way forward to take the relations between the two countries to a higher level. And in this context, after my last visit to the UK, I talked to the Prime Minister and got approved the visit of the Commerce Secretary of Pakistan to the United Kingdom. We are planning more such bilateral visits, focusing entirely on trade and commerce. We feel that is the way forward. We feel that is in the interest of Pakistan and the UK, and the opportunities both in the UK post-Brexit and Pakistan post-CPEC, and given the improved security situation here, the sky is the limit to which the two countries, to the extent to which the two countries can cooperate.
My question is to Home Secretary. Pakistan has recently held talks with Afghanistan after closure of Afghan border. So what kind of facilitation UK is extended to resolve the issue of between Afghanistan and Pakistan in countering terrorism?
In counter-terrorism. Well, this is an area that the Minister and I have been discussing extensively. We have lots to learn from each other. As I said earlier, I've been impressed by the way that this country has increased its safety record so significantly over the past 2 years, and I hope we'll be able to help you build on that with some of our ideas and developments.
Just to add, the specific point of occurrence has been the recent meeting in London between our foreign advisor, Mr. Sataj Aziz, and the National Security Advisor of Afghanistan. I think that facilitation took place through the good offices of Her Majesty's government, and as a result of the discussions that took place, you have already seen some positive movements in diffusing tensions and doubts between Afghanistan and Pakistan. One such instance took place just today, the opening of the Torkham border. The basic objective is to package areas of cooperation in this area, both in areas of regional security and of internal security.